Comments allow you to write notes on your code that will be ignored by the computer when you press run. You've probably noticed at the top of the videos that I've done so far, I've had a little note about the topic of the video and I've had a hashtag at the start. Hashtags are how you do comments. So anything you write with a hashtag is going to be ignored later on. The good use of hashtags is to explain the more complex parts of your code. This is partly useful for while you're learning, but also when you write code, you'll often look back on code that you wrote maybe 6 months ago. And if you haven't wrote any notes on the more complicated aspects, it's sometimes hard to remember why they worked, even though you wrote the code. The other reason is that programming is quite a collaborative activity now. Often if you're a professional programmer, you're working in teams of people and you're sharing code. So it's good practice to have meaningful variable names, which I've mentioned before, but also it's really good to write comments. So I could say, for example, this is a print function to output to the user. And that will help me remember what that's doing on the line underneath. Now you can also do multi-line comments. So if you want to write a small paragraph explaining a larger block of code, you can use 3 speech marks next to each other, and then I can write a message that spans multiple lines. And when I press run, it's still just saying hello. So it's still only doing this and it's ignoring these. Now that isn't really a comment. That's a way of doing a multi-line string. However, I have seen it used in this context before if you do need to write a block. The other option is obviously having multiple hashtags at the start of each line. Hashtags are finally useful, or comments are finally useful, for while you're testing code as a way of quickly blocking out a line so that when you press run, it doesn't execute that line.